start a coffee shop now, so what do you want?
Are you?
I feel like I'm on a game show.
Yeah.
What letter would you like?
Interesting to have something like the Fitbit.
Yeah,
the Fitbit for water.
Fitbit for water.
So you're constantly just telling how much water is in there.
Right.
Yeah,
Fitbit for water. Because then, you know, every time you look at it, you have these nice graphs and you're comparing
Whoa, that's what
10,000 steps a day, and then you kind of save 5
that's
liters
right.
a day or something.
We'll look at, but like we've been working using a smart shower monitor, and that will tell you the water use plus how hot the water is, and then how much energy you've used, and all that back to you as well. So both sides.
For example, water like shower head and basin in your rooms. So they just want to have luxury usually, especially in top hotels.
Well, you could surely do a ranking system where the best rank gets a discount.
It depends, yeah.
Or
So,
do they
like
already
they
have...
do in companies, they have like sales companies. When you try to motivate the sales guys, the top 2 get a journey, whatever, a travel to wherever, and all the other 18 don't get anything. But everybody puts the effort in, right? It's just not scoring as high. So next time it's going to be.
We have social media because awareness needs raising of the retail companies out there on social media. There seems to be nothing, so raise customer awareness, both wholesale and retail. Open data, there's the need to have more data on available water efficiency methods, and that will help form government opinion.
Data in first, because I think that's something that we still need to do quite a lot of work around, has a lot of potential, and it would be good to explore that fully before going on to bigger bits of data, but could also put that one in. The other one I wanted to add was demand and supply prediction. Obviously climate change, rapidly changing weather patterns, being able to be better at predicting what's going on and learning kind of in real time from what does happen, I thought was potentially quite powerful. Linked to that there was a live stream satellites one, but for me I was concentrating more on the things that have already started rather than the new things to come up.
Data. I think there's a lot of potential in this and something that we still need to do more work on, but very powerful tool, so open data.
So I put in the remote system management card. So I think that's important because it's making it more easier for customers to engage with their water basically, because otherwise you can see it's very easy to ignore, and so it's more engagement.
Demand side of Internet of Things. So customers want to be able to look on their smartphones, whatever, to be able to work out what their water bill is, be they wholesale or retail. And also they want to be able to report, say, a water leak or something like that without being stuck on the phone for hours.
And we also had demand-side Internet of Things. So, with no click at all, both groups have managed to choose pretty much similar sets of cards. I don't know on that side. On our side, none of the things we chose, interestingly, were the next option. So maybe we're concentrating more on the immediate and then the kind of medium term. I don't know, team, for a particular reason, we didn't really plan that, but lots of data and digital link, obviously, between them all.
Remote system management. This is about water companies remotely managing water systems. We've seen it in operation in Valencia. It works very well, and it allows water, electricity, all the energy things to gather together and go to where they need to be rather than where people think they should be.
New technologies and use of data. We also had remote system management, I think for similar reasons. I think one of ours are quite linked actually, related to that real-time response, so improving ways that water sectors are able to respond quickly in operational practices.
water company would be using less energy for distributing it, so that's got a wider...
For purifying it and for distribution.
Yes, yes.
Scottish Water is the country's largest consumer of electricity for its purification and pumping.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a wider implication. It's not
Which
just
brings
the
you back
water.
to the remote systems management, because that's also how you use something in reducing not just water, but the power.
So Scottish Water would have used to have had agreements with really large customers about what their level of service is, for example, massive like refineries and things. Do the retailers now still have similar types of agreements with?
Well, that's what the 29E was trying to replace, but it's never quite happened. So there are still some existing special agreements, but they are, most of them were time bound, and over the last 11 years have ended and terminated.
I think there's a lot of steps to go until we have true competition.
This interlinkage between, especially when you're looking at hot water usage and everything, there's that linkage between the amount of water that you use and the energy used to heat it up. Yeah. So from that perspective, by looking at different products, different sorts of shower heads, you can actually use less water, but you'd also be using less energy, so there would be that interrelationship between the two, wouldn't there? Yeah. And that'd have a wider environmental consequence.
Experience in Scotland, when customers really wanted to understand their water use, but we were finding that the meters weren't suitable for that, or Scottish Water had their own logos attached, it led to a lot of pressure on Scottish Water, and they came up with a smart metering policy and how those things approach that, the liability to the meter, who owns the data, all of these things were discussed. So I think it happens, probably a lot slower than some areas want, but I think if there is that consumer pressure that the retailer gets the sense of, then they can be a force with the wholesaler. I think that the retailers probably need to group together to some way. If it's just one retailer and you've got 10 in your region as a wholesaler, you probably fob them off. If it's all 10 that says, come on guys, we must have this, that pressure is probably there.
Is this, that could you combine both questions and say that things like the retail separation offers you the opportunity to then start to look at innovative ways of delivering value to the client? So you sell them a package rather than selling them water. You sell them water. Water recycling systems, blue infrastructure.
We were discussing that.
Is that really where the innovation should be going? Rather than saying we're looking at water as a commodity, we're looking at actually, and I think...
I think you could, but it would need to be together with things such as your energy, your phones, things like that.
So if it's a combined, are you thinking that there's going to be like a
package?
It's not possible. I haven't seen this basic case in any countries, but I have looked at, but I couldn't find any data. So is it possible to basically, for example, to ask the regulator to just charge for the discharged wastewater? So you have water supply, that's fine, right? So the infrastructure is there, right? But if we charge people based on what they discharge as wastewater, is it not going to be fairer to them, and also maybe it's going to be more encouraging to save water or apply basically like water saving appliances in households?
it's kind of showing earlier, there's real difference in the baseline water efficiency and what people offer. And you obviously further ahead than a lot of the kind of retailers. So, I mean, that's why I was talking about kind of standards and accreditation type of thing to see if we can get that. If customers are asking for that, that could help raise the kind of skills base across the kind of supply chain and different retailers. So, a lot of them don't even talk. There's a few that don't have anything about smart metering.
Efficiency. Okay.
And the problem with the water market.
So it's actually how it's collected, used, and then circled back.
Yeah.
So it's that iterative process of you collect it, you analyse it, you use it, but then the lessons from that then circles back to the top. So you're always improving your position. Is that the?
Yeah. My reading is that it has to do with water conservation by the user, and to link it to the environmental impacts that it would have.
Water recycling, of course, my favorite subject. Potentially have the retailers put in small recycling systems into buildings and run them themselves. Into potentially innovative method of benchmarking that the water companies would offer, the retailers would offer benchmarking against, let's say, a supermarket can see what other supermarkets are using, and the best one would get a discount. It's literally like you do with sales forces. You give a price out for the best sales guys of the month, and he would get then a price, but you get probably a lot of effort of everyone to achieve that, and driving innovation that way.
Have they done focus groups and spoken to customers about, would you like a choice in what water provider you have? I mean, do customers want it?
Well, I mean, you would probably want, because it's a monopoly. You have no chance.
Yeah.
The problem if you separate is that certain innovation is going to get stopped at because it's a process, right? The water supply.
Yeah.
So of course you're going to have innovation in the retail sector and innovation in the wholesale, but it might not overlap in terms of interconnect. So the retailer cannot promote any asset-based innovation potentially because it's not his interest. Why would he invest into new disinfection methods or whatever? Because it's a wholesale problem. Where the wholesaler will be not interested in do anything on the consumer side because he says like it's retail's problem. Right? So this way you have a problem. On the other hand, because of the separation and the competition now, there's probably going to be more innovation interest to be different. So it's rather not because the separation, but because of the competition that now drives innovation.
They can drive it, but there are disadvantages.
But limited. It's a limited innovation element. We only have to connect these green things, right? Yeah. Or do we have to connect anything? Yeah, you still need that.
We were dwelling a bit on the meaning of the word value, so first interpreting it as a monetary value, where maybe water is thinking that water might be too cheap, might be cheaper than its actual cost, and then we were talking about the investments that need to be made. So again, the analogy with the electricity system, where a lot of the infrastructure has already been amortized and needs to be updated, and that might not be factored into the price of water. So the first part, our discussion went first to the true cost of water, I guess. And
Retail separation delivered true water value. The water price on the wholesale side is set.
Yeah.
We can never go below that. Retailers need some margin in there. So normally the price of a good is always between the real cost and the demand for it. And since we have a regulated market still, it's not going to do it. And I was just talking about these neighboring systems, where people feed other people with water from their estate. Yeah, stuff. This innovation you're not going to see because there's no incentive to do that. Right?
Looking at water and its broader implications to the environment and the externalities that it involves, it could be useful to have some information on the bills to the consumers about the value of water and the cost, not just in monetary terms, but also in terms of environmental impacts and environmental impacts. And then.
I think in water the biggest problem you're having is the wholesaler element, because currently it's literally a resource they're drawing from and then distribute the water, as far as I understand. Right, so a wholesaler doesn't pay for the extraction of water out of the ground. Do they? Do they have to pay? No. So the point is there, you probably overstress the resource. Right, so if you get a good market share, you can make more money by supplying more, you will draw more water out. So for the environment, that is...
It's not the true cost.
Exactly, so, because unfortunately, with the water scarcity is, I don't think it's reflected. I don't know, but I don't think it is. So therefore, even the wholesale prices don't show the real value of water in the first place. And then the market forces cannot regulate. Now, one point we're making is surface water charges. An innovation point is that it would help to have the price of surface water cost being separated out from the sewage. That would give the retailers another element to target cost savings for the client by making him look into such certain, kind of green roofs and things by getting money back that way, where currently there's no incentive in doing any of that. We're looking
danger of basically rising the price, because when you have the competition, then someone else is coming and say, okay, I have this offer for you, but just pay £1 extra per month. So then just £1, and you can see that it's exactly what is happening for broadband, for example. So
one of the retailers, so if you are in the market to make money, it gives you a driving force to innovate.
Right.
If you have a monopoly doesn't have a driving force. Because you have your client. The retailer doesn't have his client, and if £6 will drive the market to switch to somebody else or whatever service, therefore there is, of course, competition always forces or drives innovation.
So the question was, is retail separation the beginning of true competition in the water sector? And we agreed that it's a small start to true competition in the water sector, also thinking about the analogy with the energy system, with the electricity grid. But in the water sector, there is no national grid, so it can be, on the upstream side, there can be as much competition as there is in the energy equivalent yet. So one thing we noted is that we should address these regional monopolies, water as a regional natural monopoly.
Can I just thank everybody for coming. It's been a real pleasure hosting you here today. It's been great insight. I think there's lots of different views around the table, lots of different experience in an area that's quite novel. If you can think, we've only been here for 7 months or so, notwithstanding our experience across the border in Scotland. So I think there's some exciting things happening. I think innovation can play a huge part of that. And I think there's certainly some great ideas that we could try to promote from within this group outwards. And remembering, ultimately, this is about the customer getting better value. Customer being the environment, I agree. So I think that's a point well made. So that's me done.